Live streaming is on.
All right, so we are getting started on topic number 2, which is called SVG solves ACU problems. All right, 10 minutes. So we want to learn more about ACU's program and vision and goals and understand how SVG can help. Cool. So I would say that, the first step is if Alberto, you have any questions about SVG and our model or anything. Otherwise, we can go into your vision and goals and what you want to accomplish. And then we can go into
No,
our
I have
list
no
of benefits.
question.
So do you want to go into your program vision and goals and just
Yes,
kind of describe what your intention is? And
I'll try to be quick. All right, so I prepared this document here. I'm linking it line 8. I'm gonna make it open as well now, so that you can all edit it. Then I'm gonna close it back again. All right, so if we can go to the, you see the, are you in the spreadsheet?
yeah.
Is this the right spreadsheet? No, I don't think this is the right spreadsheet. Is this the right spreadsheet? Yeah, yes, it's the right spreadsheet. All right. So are you all guys in the spreadsheet? I see only two.
I'm in the
There should
spreadsheet.
be somebody else. Joyce, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay, now I see you.
It says fact, scientific based
Time to
assumption,
stretch.
underlying truth, and
Please
context.
stop, stand up, and stretch and move around for 30 seconds.
Let's take a stretch.
All right.
All right, so I'm gonna try to cut to the chase, right? So during my life, and especially starting, when was that? It was about around November, end of October 2013. There has been two things that I could never get rid of, right? That are really there, and they just make me go kind of feeling that there is something more, right? So it's a fact that each one of us, right? Each human being, each human soul, it's a fact that the minimum estimated number of the probability of each one of us being here is a zero followed by 80 million zeros before there is a one. Right? So the probability is unbelievably low, right? That you, exactly you, are here today, right? All right. So then there is a scientific-based assumption, which is scientific, right? And I got yesterday, thanks to GPT-4, I got a reasonably simple definition of this scientific-based assumption that merged to that fact, brought me to really develop this spiritual side of myself, right? That, I mean, a good interpretation of our current understanding of quantum field theory is that all particles and forces in the universe are manifestations of quantum fields, and these fields are all part of the same universe. So basically, everything is at the base level of what of the fabric of the universe is quantum fields. So the different fields and their excitations give rise to diversity of structures and phenomena that we observe. Jay calls it resonance. I guess. So in a sense, you could say that everything is made of the same foundational stuff, quantum fields.
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
And there is just one thing, the universe, which manifests in different ways. Consciousness is synonymous with the universe itself, right? So if there is just one thing, consciousness is part of this universe, and synonymous, everything is synonymous with itself. given that the universe encompasses everything that exists and that everything is fundamentally made of such stuff according to our current scientific understanding. This is science. Right? Under this view, consciousness would be considered an inherent aspect of the universe, intricately connected to the fabric of reality. It suggests that consciousness arises from the fundamental nature of the universe and is not limited to specific entities or forms, but is a universal phenomenon. Then, before going into the underlying truth, I would like for you to read this, which is something I wrote in 2017, which I'm gonna link here now. Here, ACU Spiritual Framework. I polished it. All right. So the framework is that you're the master of your destiny because you're the master of your thoughts. This is my right. Regardless of how events unfold or how fate waves my destiny or our destiny, I'm resolute in my determination to become the best version of myself. Material fortunes may ebb and flow, but the ultimate outcome remains unchanged. Only the timelines may shift. I'm confident in my ability to align with the whole, the one of which I'm a unique manifestation in my personal reality. As I reflect on my 37-year journey, I ponder my achievement and future direction. Time, ever fleeting, narrows my options, urging me to make a realistic assessment of my situation and potential paths. Life, in its complexity and wonder, is the miracle that enables reality to manifest, our unique reality, right? Without it, the concept of life itself would not exist. If I would not be alive, there would be no concept of life to me. Nothing would matter. Without me, nothing could exist, for it is my existence that gives meaning to everything. It is my life that creates my unique reality. The conscious existence of me forms the fundamental framework within which everything happens. This framework, the essence of my life, exists only in the pure present moment I create as my touchable reality. So this is all that exists, and it fades away every millisecond, right? We can only, this is anything that exists, and it exists because I'm alive, to say that it exists. If my existence creates reality, then I create everything that exists. Therefore, I am the creator of everything that exists. I am the creator of this particular energetic combination of the prana constituting the so-called cosmos, universe, or God. This God is beyond human comprehension, yet I believe it can be
Time for
grasped.
breath. Please stop and get ready. Now inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, relax.
I believe it can be grasped through the awakening of our consciousness and conscious manipulation of our perception within our reality, born of me. Understanding that me is the only real driver that concretely creates the only possible reality experienced by us awakens our consciousness to the skeleton of concepts like reality and life. This enables us to awaken the true perception of reality and presence of me in this very exact moment, inside which everything that exists takes place. I exist only in the now, and since the now exists only because of me, I decide how I perceive this very moment. Since I decide how to perceive this moment, which is the only existing moment in my reality, I strive to perceive this moment as pleasurable as possible, independently from the influences of other gods and in this distinct, different, separate, and external realities energetically connected to me forming the God. So this is 2017, right? So there's a lot to write here, but what the biggest discovery that I made in development of this is that children possess this ability naturally. This the ability to uh, this. I decide. Children decide how to perceive any moment. Like I remember when I was a child, and I see from my children that when I was playing like pirates or whatever I was playing, the pirates were real. The dragons I was fighting, they were real. Like I imagine my house was like real. My imagination was so strong, and I believe that this is natural to everybody, right? This is the nature of consciousness, right? But we will see that later, right? This is something. This is just we want to just do the setup, right? So going back to the spreadsheet. This brings me to believe, I believe with all my heart in this underlying truth that we are the universe and which is a scientific hard fact. We just are. Point. We are. There are no limits in this sense. We simply need to see the real truth again with the belief of children. But grown-ups, badass, experienced, fed-up warriors of life, instead, I mean, we keep that as a children. I mean, what I believe is that human beings are supposed, those are children. Then you grow up and you understand better how everything works. But that foundation should be there. Instead, that foundation is taken away from us at a very early age, and we're
Time
believed.
to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
And we've come to believe that a human being is just something a little bit better than a cow or a plant or whatever. When the human being is that cow, is that plant, we'll go into that, right? So my belief, and this is what I believe, I'm saying is that consciousness is God. That's it. Consciousness is God. So, and then I added this today because it's perfectly, it's already a development that we're getting here, which is a J comment, that Jay uses the term actuality. Actuality is the fourth and fifth dimensional matrix that we only experience the third dimensional projection of. Based on your conversation with I, which I shared with Jay, there's no such thing as universe, there's only consciousness and experience, both individual and shared. The universe in and of itself is a human's construct and label and is limited. A better term is observable universe, or like I like to use the maxiverse or multiverse or beyond the universe is infinite. And so this is basically kind of the framework, the attitude that brought me to take the decision to hire SVG to accomplish the goals that we are looking forward to do together, right? So this said, today I believe that I have a way for one a way for because I believe that this is this is inside of each one of us. We just don't believe it anymore because we have been brainwashed for thousands of years to believe something that is not the reality, is not true. Because children know the truth. But the problem is that children are very delicate. In a sense, it's like our vortex, right? Vortex. They are still a child, right? And it's up to us to make it grow, make them grow in the correct environment for them to express their full potentials. And this is what because I mean what is the vortex? They are a unity of consciousness, and it's alive. And so, and all of this made me come to. I mean, since a very early age, I would say maybe
Time to take a
2013.
break. Please stop. Write down whatever you were about to say and take a break for 6 minutes.
Right. I'm just going to finish this. All right. So in 2013, I started to when I really this framework that I just shared with you is part of my beliefs, and once they become started beliefs, I started to experience uh, before at an uncontrollable level these very strong energies that were really super strong. So that I already told to Mel that I even got hospitalized at one point because I was having this these manifestations of, I believe, true human consciousness that was just crying to be let free. But I didn't know. I had no capacities to control it, and I just let it flow. And I was living in an apartment with a lot of other people that got scared and called the police, and 12 police guys couldn't stop me. And I was just, and they had to sedate me. Right, all right. And then from there, I became more careful. But and then I also moved to Brazil. Brazil is a place where you can be more free, and so. But I mean, for a long time, these things were happening without me really being able to control them. So the only way is would try to find an isolated place and with my baby mama, like kind of protect me until it was over. And and then by also especially the strength, then I mean, and then this kind of faded away along because of all the disappointments and the I mean, and the difficulties I experienced in life, and I mean, it was just crazy, and I was I became very much corrupted to and I went back to being just a I don't know, like a conscious, a dead consciousness, which is most 99.99% of human beings are. But then with uh, with um, Jay giving me a new purpose in life through FQN and now the Vortex, this came all back very strong, and also with the mining project finally, where we see a light and it's a positive light and everything. I mean, my strength came back very much, and I went back to that side of myself and said, right, now let's get serious, let's understand what it is. And I started to use a professional approach, let's say, right? And I started to have these experiences in a more a more I was the one that I wanted that I made them start, not the opposite around, where I just they happened, and I had to deal with them, and it was in any and so I started to do that, and it's been very cool, to say the least, until the vortex was born. Once the vortex was born, I I experienced a shift in resonance, as they say. The shift in resonance is something that I already knew that I experienced, and so it lasted some days until I said, "All right, let's try to go to the bottom of this," and because this shift of resonance is very strong when I understand where we want to go. So I had this first practice, which was the 30th of May, of 3 hours, because I found this video of 3 hours of the Last of the Mohican soundtrack, which is amazing soundtrack, and it just goes over for 3 hours, and I mix it with some soundtracks of healing and very positive frequencies. Sounds, and so I did this practice for 3.3 hours, and I mean, it's just unbelievable what like, for example, make a stupid example. If you ask me to do the lotus position now, I probably wouldn't do it. Within that 3 hours and 3 hours, I did a perfect lotus position, and I stayed in a lotus position for most of the 3 hours, and I was just thanking God to feel so comfortable once again. So there's many things that I don't believe that is something special to me. It's just something that each one of us has inside. But the current society, which we know as a fact that is upside down, totally upside down, and we see where we're going. I mean, the biggest market in the world is war. There's ways to kill each other, ways to suffer. The world is upside down. The world is upside down where we want to have a free, public, free, transparent session, and they say, no, everything needs to be private. That's the opposite. We start public, and then maybe we go private, but little things, right? But the world is upside down. It's completely upside down. And I believe that I have today, through my experience, and I believe through the professional support of the best that FQN can give as client or with SPG, we can put together we can put together this first practice in a documented, clear way that anybody can take and try it for themselves, and maybe they will start questioning that maybe life is something more than paying your bills and working as a slave and dying with 200,000 medicines and I don't know, whatever. I mean, and most of people are just happy, but I think that if people understand that, just understanding, really understanding the miracle of them being alive, this 0.80 million zero, just
Sorry.
yeah. So this is what I would like to. I would like for us to work together, is get something that can be shared to the world, where we can give my 2 cents on maybe make life of everybody. You don't need to do a 20 hours retreat with in the Himalayas, or pay this and learn do yoga for 20 years or meditations every day. No, you do 3 hours and a half. You see what happens. Something is gonna happen. You're gonna feel something that you have never felt in your life, I believe. And maybe this is gonna start questioning that things should be very different than they are today. That each human, its consciousness is something really miraculous and has the power of the universe in itself. And then, obviously, I mean, I would like also to try to get the cost back of this work, and also for the purpose of perfecting this first practice to a level where I believe that there's other practices which are more higher level, which I'm still developing, whether I'm not in any way possible close to being able to share it to somebody that takes it and would be able to do it, right? So, and I think, but by getting together in an event with, even if it's just another person, but another person that has the open mind to really experience this with me, I think that we can put together our experiences, evaluate them, and do a professional assessment evaluation. And these experiences would help us immensely to develop the long-term vision, which will come later, which is all these other practices, which are the auto healing and self regeneration practices first, and then maybe one day the cosmic master merge, which is something that I don't believe I will ever. I mean, I would need to stop eating meat and a lot of things that I don't believe I'll be able to do in my lifetime, but it's okay, no problem. I mean, let's focus on just this first goal now. We know we want to do a long term, but let's just focus on this now. So this is my. I hope that has been clear enough and to make you guys understand why we are here and why I would like to get an agreement for us to work together on this. Check.
Awesome. Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you, Alberto, for downloading the whole perspective and story.
Yeah.
I think it's good to take a quick break, though, right? Did you get? I
Yeah.
mean, we missed, or we could skip the breaks. And, I don't know.
Time to pause. Please
Okay, break.
close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
Cool. So yeah, so let's take a break, and then we can go into. I have some questions for you. Yeah. We'll just start asking some questions and
Yeah.
continue. Okay.
Perfect. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, sounds good.
So it's like I don't know, 3 minutes, 3 minute break.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Time for breath. Please stop and get ready. Now inhale, 1, 2, 3, exhale, 1, 2, 3, pause. Inhale together, 1, 2, 3, exhale, relax.
I'm here.
All right.
I'm here. Mhm.
So I have a couple questions, and I also had an unrelated comment.
Yeah,
Is it okay if I make a quick unrelated comment?
of course.
Just in the the thing that I quoted, right? It was a little interesting seeing my quote in your documentation, but that would be just related to the conscious field theory. So it's just good to, when using other people's quotes and things like that, to just mention, what is it called? Creative Commons is like attribution.
Yeah, yeah. I put it there, Jay, because I mean,
Uh,
this is the first example of what I'm looking for because I have very limited knowledge and competencies, right? And what I'm looking is to hire this this this
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
is to hire this that I believe that only SVG this time can. I mean, SVG is definitely a good fit that could bring. Like to me, for example, I'm so limited that to create a scientific based assumption that is clear enough and simple, I ask support to artificial intelligence because they can write and they can express uh, these concepts way much better than I can. So and this is something that you expressed and it's that I have no idea, right? So that's why I'm looking forward. But yeah, I agree with you. I should write. What should I write? Jay's. Jay.
it's like wait, you said it. You said it. Oh, this is Jay's quote. It comes from conscious field theory
Jay's
or
quote.
whatever. But
Yeah.
just like, and then that would cover that. But anyway, so my question, going on to my question,
It's in the info. It's linked in the info. Yes, but I had linked it before. I can
info.
yeah.
So
9.
my question is, the Discord comment. That's funny,
Yeah,
but that's still not necessarily a attribution. But
but
anyways,
here I can put it. Yeah.
It's just a minor detail. Just mentioning that. But obviously, what you're asking us to do is organize and help build the documenting and the understanding of this vision and program to present to the world in a way that all like the little things that I'm just talking about, like, you know, because you're going to pull information from lots of different places, and we want to make sure that the glossary is clear. We want to make sure that the attributions are clear. We want to make sure that it's professionally presented, so that when people are seeing it and reading it, if their information's in there, it's done in a professional and legal way, so that everyone's clear, right? So
yeah, and
is,
just to be clear, this document, I'm not looking to have any active outreach of this document. So I want to create a document, we put it somewhere public, and that's it. The way that then we would kind of do an outreach on this is the event, right? We want to do that. But the document is there, and it's not for us to choose whoever is gonna take it, read it, or whatever. I mean, that's not the purpose. The purpose is to have it there, something that is there, and I know it works. I know that it works. So something within. We'll see. And with yeah.
Well, that's my question actually. This is just one component, and we'll go over the rest of the components. But just as far as the first component, the question is, what is this document? Like, is the correct term, like, because I think vocabulary is
Time to
important.
stretch. Please stop, stand up, and stretch and move around
All right,
for
let's
30 seconds.
Let's take a quick stretch, and then let's get back to my question. All right. So my question is, what?
In one word, the responsibility organizing, or the system organizing, or the practice organizing.
Okay, but another word could be manual.
Yeah, but
Is it a manual?
I don't think a manual is a good term. I mean, we would need also maybe to find the right term, but no, manual would be a right term. Yeah.
Who is it for? Like, who is the documents for?
Anyway.
It's for the organization that's going to be implementing the event, right?
Yeah, of course, the document would be definitely applicable to the event. Would test the completed document for the first time. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, you're creating a set of documents so that the organizers of the event follow towards collaborative outcomes, right? So they're using like this set of documents for implementing the event, right?
Yeah, but the point is that it's not so important. The event is very free, right? It's free. You like I had to, and I still need to outline the similarities. But if you go back to my document, I had two practices. All right. One was the 30th of May, and one was on the 2nd of June. One started at 1 a.m., the other one started at 5 a.m., both 3.5 hours. And I mean, they were very similar, but they were very different as well. So the event itself, it does need to be, it's very free. Whatever you feel would happen. But what I would suggest, but it's just suggested. There's like no protocols. There is suggestions. There is, I don't know if we can call it protocols, or there's some
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
There is some basic some basic practices that everybody should try to follow in order to release this. Once it's released, then it's free. But what's very important is the right attitude or the right mindset that we want.
Yeah. Cool. So another couple terms in English that I think are applicable is like you could call it a methodology, There is another term. Mel, what's the term when someone puts out their manifesto, right?
The term that came to mind is a manifesto has connotations of political and stuff like that, but not necessarily a methodology applies has connotations is very scientific, whereas this is very spiritual. It's okay, but what I kind of like using is practice. It's a practice. It's something that people
I
use
like
on a regular
practice. I
basis.
like spiritual practice. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and then people who use it could be practitioners, so yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, awesome. So we're documenting a practice, in this case, a spiritual practice, and you can have, and it basically it's almost like a training model for practitioners, right, of your practice.
Yeah. Exactly.
So I love it. So we're developing, in many ways, we're developing a training program, but we're not actually implementing the training program. We're just doing it for the event. But it's very interesting. And then the other thing that's important in terms of vocabulary is that the correct English term for flexible, open, and quote free, because the event itself is not free. The event costs money if people want to go to it, right? The model of the event is what's called an emergent event, right? There is an emergent space that anything can just emerge and happen organically. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. So this all looks very, very good. I think we're on the same page on this. So then the next step in terms of just understanding the three primary components, right, is that there's like you're talking about, the documentation of the practice itself, right? So I'll put that as number one, the documentation of the practice itself in a professional and presentable way. And I think we talked about this before a bit, and how we talked about how it could literally...
Time for breath. Please stop and get ready. Now inhale, 1, 2, 3, exhale, 1, 2, 3, pause. Inhale together, 1, 2, 3, exhale, relax.
We talked about how this could actually be professionally put together and organized as basically a licensing tool for a training model, right? Like a model for training people on how to perform your...
Yeah, sure.
Component is like your... Well, let's go to the third. So the third component is the actual event, right? That you keep talking about. So there's the event, and that involves the planning and support and raising money, right? And then there's all... We have a date. Okay, what's the date?
14th of September.
Okay, the 14th of September. Is there anything specific about that date?
Yeah, it's the new moon of the third month that we would work on this. 3 months work, and it would be completed by consider we are starting the 18th of June. 3 months is June, July, August, September, which is 14th of September.
Okay.
Maybe we can do it the full moon, which is more powerful, energetic. So this maybe the 14th of September, or actually the full moon, which is.
Cool. Anyways, that's fine. So I was just curious, but it's aligned with the lunar cycles, which is what I wanted to know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so that was what it's interesting to know. Okay, so event planning, support, and raising money. I think this is all pretty clear. Recruitment, outreach, sales, follow-up, drafting, advertising, marketing. We talked about that. Okay, so in my mind, the only other component here, there's actually many other components, but the only other one that needs to be brought up now is the idea that the organizational structure is not the documentation of the practice itself. So I just want to ask the question, is this something that you're interested in? The organizational structure, policy setup, the framework, the legality, the policies and systems, potentially the sponsorship proposal drafting, and the evaluation assessment models of the practice, right? Are these, for me, I don't see how that's possible to put into the documentation of the practice itself. I feel like there's separate things.
I see them as separate things for sure, but the evaluation, the way that the evaluation and the assessment of the event would happen, this
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
I don't want that
Can you-
after the event we just go and and tell each other how it was. No, I want to have a professional evaluation and assessment that we would go through and
Well, that's why we would set that up ahead of time. So we would set up the entire evaluation assessment process before the event even happens, and then you would follow that process so that it would be professional. You have the outcomes of the assessment goals. Yeah. So this would be the assessment models in essence setup, right? You're setting up the assessment and models. But anyways, the point is that you're creating a practice, but then you're also building the organization to support that practice. That's correct, right?
That's the idea for later. Yeah, absolutely. That's the idea. Yeah. But for the moment, I just
within the 3 months.
Well, I would like to take that away as possible, as quickly as possible. I mean, the organization, the exact organization, and everything. I would like to cover that in a second moment. So, if possible, if we can have the quickest way to kind of how can you say it? Kind of
Okay, so let's just take a step back, okay?
Insert it under the FQN umbrella for the time being. That would be my desire.
Yeah, but the thing is that the whole FQN system in the vortex, let's just take a step back, FQV is the direction we're going, right? The vortex allows for anything in any direction in any one is fully empowered within it. So there doesn't have to be like a formal process of being sponsored to be part of the vortex, right? Because you can basically create your own web and your own network within the vortex. It's perfectly fine, right? Anyone can do that because it's very broad. But the point that I'm trying to make is that if you don't want an organization, that's perfectly fine. And so what that would imply would be that your practice is a personal practice as a sole proprietorship, and that you're designing and have individual, in essence, at this time, proprietary over the practice.
Time to take a break. Please stop. Write down whatever you were about to say and take a break for 6 minutes.
No. What I would like, if possible, is to structure it as a program. For now, just a program that we know that if depending on these 3 months, everything develops, but without us being too take away our focus on the future, but be focused. But I mean, a program. This is the program. This is the first practice, and we just to create a program as quickly as legally as possible under the umbrella FQN sponsorship. Maybe I don't know how this would work, but as quickly as possible. This is the program. It's a program, and with these 2-3 goals for the moment, with a long-term vision that would come in the second moment after this first 3 months. Let's say, I don't know, program 0 stage, right? We call it like that. And to mainly, I mean, also have total legal for the website. I mean, of course, we want to have a website. We want to have.
But that can all come later. The website can come later, right? As part of the event.
Yeah, I mean, the website, I think, would definitely be something that it doesn't need to be something complicated, but easy. But a page, a website page where people can go and buy the the ticket to the event or download the document. And I think that's something that we want to, that would be probably the end goal here. Where are we going to put this on the web, in a website?
Yeah, so you want us to help with the website or the page in terms of the platform page. It might even be a simple platform page on a ticket selling site. You don't even need your own server. You could just use a platform that exists to sell tickets or whatever, right? So, and you could have all the information there.
I don't think it would be a ticket. I mean, I think there would be a payment, and we send them the.
I mean, it could even be a Kickstarter. You could do a Kickstarter campaign, or even like some sort of like crowdfunding platform where people they put in the money and they get a ticket to the event if they want to come, right? So there's a lot of different ways to set it up. Yeah, but we'll figure out how you want to set it up. But the key is that there's going to be some type of web page or landing page where people are going to learn about it.
Yeah. Very easy, very simple.
But what I think what's very, very clear, and I think we want to preface this with everything, right, is that kind of like overall goals. I'm down at line 95. The overall goal to preface everything is to focus on documenting the practice as professionally as possible, right? And then we are simplifying everything else to its bare minimum to save time and cost, right? So that means you want the simplest, minimal structure for the organization for like legal purposes. You want, simple landing page, and you just want to get to the event. You want a simple, clear, assessment model and simple, clear recruitment and outreach so that everything just gets focused on the event. The primary is the documentation of the practice as professional as possible, and everything else is as simple as possible to just get to the event and bring in some money, right? That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the way that I see it is that as we get as soon as possible to document this, we get as soon as possible to have it online in a web page, in a dedicated landing web page. Then we do the outreach, which would be, in my opinion, a advertisement campaign on Facebook/Instagram, and then that's it, and then that would be.
It's very, very simple. Very, very simple.
Yeah, and then have somewhere where we would ideally obviously have a place where we would receive the payments. The payments, they're there, and we will see what to do with them in a later stage.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So what I would propose is that step 0 is the setting up this very simple program sponsorship, and that's going to be the organizational framework, the structure, the equity, and the sponsorship proposal drafting. And the goal is to get that out of the way quickly and easily. I mean, this is like hours of work, let's say 3 to 5 hours, right? Mm-hmm. And maybe 1 or 2 sessions, 1 to 2 sessions to just get this out of the way, and then keep it as simple as possible, knowing that it can just change in the future, right? Then you have a legal model that can actually contract with us for the rest of the work. Because without having a legal structure, there is no contract. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, okay. I get it.
So then you get this out of the way very quickly. And I mean, in my mind, this could be done in, literally 2 to 3 days, but let's say 2 to 3 weeks or whatever, like one to 2 weeks if you want to take time. But obviously we could technically do it in like 2 to 5 days, right? It'd be very easy to do.
And the break, time to start. Please get focused on the session.
All right, so are we clear on this, like getting that out of the way very fast, quick, easily?
Yeah, I mean, to me, so we would need this to happen before we can close the agreement.
No, we would need that to happen before we can close the agreement with an organization. But you can make the payment as an individual to get everything set up.
Yeah, but to me, it's important to understand when this work would be would when they would take control of this trajectory.
Who's they?
With the vortex. Because to me it's very important, because if this needs to happen before we bring this into the vortex, then I would like to keep the Sundays always. Right? But
yeah, until that happens. So
yeah.
that's fine. That's perfectly fine to do it. But again, the only thing preventing things being scheduled during the week is just you. We don't care. We're like, this is part of the vortex already for us. Right, Mel? I mean,
Yeah.
it's all part of the same thing. Like, just like you say, the universe is all one. It's all connected. For us, there's no separation, right?
No,
Anyways.
and I agree with you. It's already part of the vortex, but I also feel that it wouldn't be just to bring it into our weekly regular schedule until, all right, we have agreement. We have agreement that we're doing this SDGs. We're on.
I didn't quite understand that last part. Do you want to say that again?
I have a feeling that it would be. I don't know. I have a feeling that I want to bring this into the regular weekly schedule until we have agreement that we are.
I understand.
On board together. Yes.
Yeah, for sure. I totally understand.
Yes.
But I feel like what you want, though, which we can discuss more later, is that you want to have a clear sponsored organization that is simple, straightforward, and has context, right?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, and so that should be very easy to do. Within our sponsorship program model, we basically, the sponsorship model doesn't actually cost money to set up a sponsorship. What does cost money is if you want us to write the sponsorship proposal for you on your behalf, right? That is where the value is. You see what I'm saying?
I mean, I see this is a part of the SDG work, right?
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
You can hire SVG to do anything within the entire vortex, right? So we obviously are willing to do the full sponsorship proposal drafting with you and collaborate and make that happen. And we still have to figure out what it's going to say and how it's going to work. But yeah, then you're not responsible for it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, this
and
is
that's
exactly what I want. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bring out everything.
And so overall, we can go through cost of benefit analysis. But the key thing here is that we have the quick, simple setup of the actual sponsored program. So let's just call this the sponsored program setup. Sponsored program setup. Number 1, documentation of the practice itself in a professional, presentable way, which is the main exciting part of this. We're going to skip the whole organizational structure and all that baloney phony. Also, I'm not expecting doing a full identity in relationship to branding. So no branding at this time, but we can talk about that if we want to add branding in there.
No. I really have the logo, and that's the logo. That's it.
Yeah, okay. But I mean, I don't see any reason to do a full branding thing. It's just not necessary.
No,
it's really
we
just
definitely want to
focusing
have
on
the web page.
What?
We definitely want to have the web page. The end result, the end output is the landing page, web page.
But that's for the event planning, right? As opposed to the actual.
I think he wants an actual, just a simple
not
website
really.
as well. Yeah.
Because to me, the deliverable of documenting is having it online. And then we would add, for the event, we would add a box where there's the event. But that's secondary.
Great. Okay, that's fine. So you do want a web page or website, but you want it to be really simple, right?
Yeah. But cool. See, we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we could make some people spend $20,000 literally on a fancy, crazy website. We're not talking about that at all. We're talking about like a few $100s on a website. It's like really, really simple, bare bones. The main thing is the actual, like, but you could have a beautiful website and landing page that has the link to the most amazing PDF file that presents the practice. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to have something.
That's the
Exactly.
a really cool
Exactly.
portal to the link of the site.
Landing page with a link to professional PDF. You know?
Yeah, everything you
Right.
need
Time
to
for
do.
breath. Get ready. Now inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. Relax.
Cool.
Everything
All right.
you need
So I
should be in
think
one
we
PDF.
are. Yeah. So I think we are good on all of that. So I am ready to. So basically, bottom line here, this is what we want to have for the benefit of the organization, or the benefit of the practice is sponsorship setup, documentation of the practice, eventually ending up on a beautiful web page with the professional PDF link, and then supporting the event planning and helping raise some money. Okay, so I think this is all pretty clear, straightforward. So I personally am ready to start talking about money if we wanted to, which would get us towards our next topic. But there's one thing that relates to the benefits and the problem solving that I would want to clarify. But otherwise, I'm ready to get into the collaborative initial proposal, which is topic 3.
Yeah, let's finish with the problem
So,
solving, and then
yeah. So
So
before,
let me just, yeah. Before to wrap up topic 2, Alberto, does that accurately reflect your near-term goals so far? These like 3 points here.
yeah, totally perfect, perfect. 0, 1, and 3. Yeah.
0, 1. Oh yeah. Not 2. Okay. All right.
so the only other thing I wanted to bring up here, just to make sure we're on the same page, in relationship to the other value, is what we would call the worker accountability and deliverables, like basically the worker perspective, right? Like what level of worker support are you looking for? So this would be like the level of worker support. So the lowest and most low cost model, which I think might be good enough for you just to make sure we're on the same page, is let me see, let me just pull it up here so I'm not making a mistake on it. Ow. Would be basically just like, a normal worker setup, which is like minimal sessions. Like I said, kind of like assets where it doesn't necessarily happen every week, where
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
So I call this like mainly global workers, mainly minimal sessions. Like we're just moving the work along over the course of the 3 months, but we're not too worried about it. So that's like the our normal client work level, right? Does that make sense, Alberto?
Yeah, I mean, as a client, I would request that nobody else but the 4 of us work on this.
Well, I don't think you could do that though, because as SVG, we are responsible for implementing the needs of the client.
Okay.
So, for example, Mel is is a fully empowered human being, and she could quit tomorrow, right? So could Joyce. So, as SVG, we are required to meet the client goals,
Yeah, I get it.
and
Yeah,
so
I
we
said
don't
in
allow a
idiocity.
client to
I said in
disempower our
idiocity.
organization, or do we allow a client to force a individual into
Sorry.
something we might not
Yeah,
want to do?
yeah, I agree.
Right? So that's just an
I said in
unacceptable request.
idiocity. Yeah. Delete it from the
But
recording.
no, it's fine.
No,
But it's
yeah, I
just
know.
good to know. But what I'm talking about is more of like, for example, a higher level would be that we could guarantee 1 to 3 times a week and like really make sure that there's weekly progress going on, and like this would be guaranteed work at more of a mixed global and leadership workers level where there's like me and other people who are working on this and guaranteeing and making sure it happens. That would be more expensive. Do you see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying, and I mean,
And then the last
I'm flexible, but what I think we should do is
Mhm.
create I don't know the timeline and the budget with the goal in mind to do it at the highest best possible way that SVG can provide without thinking about how much it's going to cost. All right, so we start there.
But we have to think about how much it's going to cost, and that's what I'm saying. The highest level would be the full team daily guaranteed implementation and like full access, full all workers, full team mode, everything on board, all hands on deck. That would be the most highest level and much more expensive. You see what I'm saying?
But I wouldn't request anything less than that.
Time to stretch. Please stop, stand up, and stretch and move around for 30 seconds.
All right, let's take a little break.
Considering we can consider this, right? That we set up this point zero. I immediately transfer I don't know, $4,500, $5,000. And I mean, this is what I commit today. Things change in 3 months, right? So I believe that if we're talking about $2,000 to $3,000 more, it shouldn't be a problem. But I cannot guarantee this today. I cannot make an agreement today for $8,000, which I don't know if I'm going to be able to come up with.
Well, you're only agreeing month to month, right? That's all you're agreeing to is month to month. But obviously, we're trying to put together in a budget for 3 months. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and what I see, we can talk about it, and then let's take a break. Absolutely, is that we can set up number zero. I transfer $5,000 there. These are 5,000. Then the other amount creativity is our limit. So maybe you discount it from my pay or something like that. I mean, we find a way to cover the rest. But the delivery is way more important than $2,000, $3,000 more, right? So if this is what it's required, from my point of view, as long as we have agreement that I don't have this, I cannot commit to this money now. I can commit to $5,000, and I believe 3 months is what we need to have.
Great, cool. So I think
the rest of the world, yeah. We don't want to.
Yeah, but the key thing I'm talking about in terms of the client benefit, and the only reason I'm bringing this up is because I'm hearing you alluding to it, and it's a very specific benefit with a very specific need, and a lot of clients are not interested in this at all. And again, what it is it's full 100% team, all hands on deck, all systems go on making this basically a high priority. Maybe it's not, it's basically be one step less than, for example, what we do, which is the prime trajectory. The prime trajectory obviously can't change because we still have to launch, right? But in the relationship to being at the highest level priority, this would be higher level priority than any other client work that we have, including like assets. I mean, for me, assets are very, very high level priority client work. We barely work on them like a couple times a month, right? You see what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is that getting something at that level sounds like something that you're interested in, and so there is a cost to that. So I'm going to cover that cost, even if you decide
Time to pause. Okay? Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
So are we on the same page on that? That
would be like totally. Yeah, that's what it's.
So we're not saying that you're going to pay for that, but that is a fourth component. You've already said that the second component you definitely don't want to pay for, which is setting up a fully functional, long-term professional organization. That's just not necessary right now. All we need is step 0 for that. And so that for number 4, you're very interested in a full 100% all hands on deck, like really taking this to the next level where you have full support from me and Mel and Joyce and the whole team to make it happen, all of it, right?
Of course,
and so
of course.
that we're going to be including. But obviously, if you didn't want that and you're just doing the basic system, there's no extra cost. But so we're looking, okay, what are the extra costs to actually getting all hands on deck and getting the full team that is basically a team merger? Okay, so I think we're clear on what the 4 primary objectives are in relationship to the costs. So are there any other questions from Mel and Joyce in relationship to solving these problems and understanding the needs of the needs of
ACU.
Ambor? I just like to call it Ambor. ACU. Yes, ACU. Ambor
Yeah, I have a
cosmic.
question. If you're not interested in number 2, the structure, then what is it? Is it a hobby? What is it then? It's not a sponsored program? Sorry.
No, it is a sponsor program. He wants
Okay,
it to
so
become
it's
a
a
sponsor
sponsor.
program. That's going to be step 0.
I'm definitely interested in 2, but I believe
right.
it's not the right time. The right
Okay,
time, it's gonna come,
that's
and it's
fine.
gonna be a bigger discussion, a bigger picture discussion.
That's
But
fine. But then
yeah,
basically it is a sponsored program of Innovate United or SCCC or what?
It'll probably be Innovate United, but again, that's the sponsorship proposal that we're going to be drafting with him to figure that out.
In
He's
the
paying
next
us to draft.
stage,
us-
yeah.
He's paying us to figure out how to get it sponsored.
Okay,
yeah.
that's fine.
So
we want
basically,
to get a legal structure as soon as possible set up under FQN umbrella, which is obviously a for-profit structure.
Yeah.
Because the money,
Innovate United LLC.
yeah, yeah, the funds that I believe we will raise
In the most simply, smallest, clearest, simplest thing that we can do. Very simple is very small. Okay.
Yeah, it's very simple, very small, very straightforward. Just
Does that make
preliminary
Yeah.
to move us forward. Then,
Yeah.
of course, we know that we will develop.
Time for breath. Please stop and get ready. Now inhale, 1, 2, 3, exhale, 1, 2, 3, pause. Inhale together, 1, 2, 3, exhale, relax.
Okay, so are there any other questions before we move on?
No, not for me.
Does anyone want to take a break?
Yeah, I will take a break. Bottom of the
Okay,
hour,
so you
maybe.
take a 5-minute break, and then when we come back, we'll do the beginning of the collaborative proposal, and we don't have to finish this today. We can go into the next session to deal with that, but we'll just look at our options for that. Okay.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
Okay.
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
All right, I'm here.
Yeah.
Me too.
Okay.
All right. So all right. So what I want to go through here is in terms of getting into the costs, right, and what we're talking about. Let me see here. We're looking at $4,500. Perfect. Okay. So the first thing is line 3 is that at any time we could just agree to do a payment in relationship to just moving forward the next few days or weeks or whatever to continue the process, and that we already covered. So we understand that, right? We can just move on.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And so you can do that at any time, and that would be done at the beginning of the second session as the deadline. From there, I'm going to come back to this, but the most and really only important thing in the big picture of our costs as an organization, because again, all we do is we just cover our costs, right? We're not necessarily trying to.
Time to take a break. Please stop. Write down whatever you were about to say and take a break for 6 minutes.
So really the full team daily, all hands on deck cost is the most expensive, and that's sort of what things come down to. But in terms of putting everything into perspective, it's very good to just focus on the deliverables. So in relationship to the deliverables, that's line 48. So deliverables is what it all comes down to. So the deliverables are basically setting up a sponsored program. What's going to take like a week of work, right? $500 to $1,000. You know, it is what it is. It's not very difficult work, but it does take time, right? Does that make sense in terms of the deliverable of having the organizational framework and the sponsor proposal? Is probably going to take, somewhere between 2 to 3 sessions. Okay.
Okay.
And again, the value is not necessarily the cost. This is just understanding the value. So the primary value that you're requesting is the documentation of the practice itself, which we're talking about, mini sessions of just like documenting and understanding all of the details and reviewing it over and over again, building all these one-pagers and profiles and basically building this PDF with identity, purpose, mission, vision, all of it, and making it very professional. At this point, I'm not adding branding, right? So there's no branding.
Make something that make something that we know would work with anybody, not Alberto or
Correct. Yes.
or Jay or Mel that already have years of spiritual experience. Right, that's the idea. To create something that any person can, especially this person that they really need it, right? Like find it, read it, and say, hey, this looks cool, easy, funny, fun. Let's try it out.
Yeah. So again, the actual deliverable of having the final web page with the link to the professional PDF, in my mind, seems like about somewhere between $3,000 and $5,000 for that particular deliverable at the level that you're talking about it, right?
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that doesn't mean that's how much it's going to cost
Yeah,
us
no,
to
I get
make
that. Yeah.
people. And then the last part was the event planning, which I think is I think it's gonna be pretty minimal. So I just put like 1,000 to 3,000. I mean, obviously, you could get much more involved, and we could be much more, especially if there's a lot of interest and more people want sales and do the follow up and everything. It's obviously more work than if there's less interest. So overall, I'm only calculating somewhere between like $4,500, and the maximum would be 9,000. So I'm calculating something between 45 to 9,000 in terms of which is much less than what I calculated before when we were going to do all the organizational frameworks, but we're not doing that, right?
No.
So in that framework, the key thing to understand here is that in my mind, you technically could do this in 1 month, right? But it would be, paying the $4,500, like $5,000 all at once. Whereas if you're paying it over the course of 3 months, it would be less money. Does that make sense? Because you're just doing.
I mean, regarding the money, it's no problem. I mean, we can put the money there, and then we as the work moves along, we use it. But the point to have it in 3 months is to not rush it as well, right? We want to have a session, then we want to have the time to think about it before the next
Yeah.
session. Yeah.
But the concept of
For me,
rushing
it's
it
important
is.
that I mean, it's important that we take this 3 months time, which I believe is already. I mean, they're gonna be intense in general, but I believe that 3 months is the right time that I feel that this should take.
Correct. Yes. So bottom line, you know, $4,500 to $9,000. You're looking at 2 to 3 months of work at the most baseline levels in relationship to doing that work and getting it done. So I think that all makes sense in terms of what I'm calculating and what I'm seeing. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it makes perfectly sense. Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. So like really it all comes down to the question of like, at what level are we doing this? Are we doing this like our normal client level that we currently have, where our highest level client like assets is like can be completely ignored? Or are we taking this to another level where we actually have a budget to pay people to put the time in on a regular level? That's really what it comes down to in terms of the costs. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
And obviously that would be a much higher level professional, level. But it's just important to understand the actual cost and relationship to doing a full team, all hands on deck, where basically the SVG team becomes your team, as opposed to, scheduling one session where, okay, one session a week, we're working on this, and that's the only space for it, nowhere else. Does that make sense? And then the middle one is kind of a mix, we would do it multiple times this week, make sure it's on a weekly basis progress, like we can guarantee that, right? So are there any
This
questions about that? 'Cause that's the complicated part.
yeah, I mean, this is a client. I would answer. I mean, you should tell me. This is the deliverables. I expect the highest effort. I'm okay with the forecast.
Yes, that's the beginning of the next segment. Yes, it never loops for me. I don't know why.
I'm 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 okay with the forecasted.
Time to
I'm okay with the forecasted stop, of course, before agreeing to it and give my word, which is just one. I would need to see a lot more details. But I mean, as a client, I would expect to have a schedule of the 3 months. When and what is going to happen, then we understand the schedule.
Yeah, you need like a Gantt chart, sort of. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Timeline.
Again, a project management Gantt, absolutely.
Yeah, so that schedule and that project management is exactly determined by line 42, 43, and 44. So if you're looking for project management, which I'm putting in column K, right? The project management would be like the most professional timeline and detailed organizational step-by-step plan would be the full team, right? Whereas like if we're just doing one session a week, the expectation would be like a simple priorities list, right? Does that make sense? With a deadline. That's all we would really need, right? With a deadline. Do you see what I'm saying? Do you see the difference between just a simple priorities list with a deadline, which is what we usually do, versus like a full-fledged like plan with the full timeline and detailed step-by-step analysis of like everything that's going to happen for 3 months? Because even just developing that would take probably 3 to 5 sessions just to develop the business plan. Do you see what I'm saying?
No, I see what you're saying, and
Yeah.
again, this is something that does not require nor I think it's beneficial to have it on a daily full team daily um, commitment, because as we move along, I would also uh, have more of this, as I'm calling them 0.1, 0.2, 0.3 practices, where they're all needed to provide more feedback and inputs that we will definitely need. So to me, it also doesn't make sense to have it on a daily, because it would be stressful. It would become stressful, and it wouldn't become. It needs to be It needs to be a pleasure. But I would definitely want to have it a weekly project with its own schedule. My idea, my idea. But I believe that two sessions per week should be should be 2 sessions per week of maybe 3 hours each session. I think it's more than enough.
Perfect. All right, so I think we are settling towards the middle ground.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, I think I'm pretty clear on putting together the proposal as a draft. Okay, so I could copy and paste this real quick and show you what it might look like, but overall, I think all of my questions are answered. Let's see if Mel or Joyce has anything else. Otherwise, I'm pretty good.
I'm just curious of the program. Um, is it a live session, or is it like a video
Yeah, this is the practice. She has a question about the practice, if it's done online or in person.
video?
You mean what, the
The
actual
actual practice, yeah, is it actually in person
Yeah,
or did
yeah. Your product, the product itself. What
yeah,
is what is it?
No, the product itself is a PDF that anybody
PDF.
can download for free, and there should be
Uh,
very clear uh, what they. I mean, there should be very clear. Anybody should be able to download it. They should be able to do it on their own time whenever they want.
so so it's not a video. It's
Obviously,
like
it's a document. It's a PDF.
document.
Then the actual session is extremely powerful. So when I do this, I do it in my office, where I live in a house, fairly big house, where with my garden, nobody can hear me, and I have 30 meters the ocean, which covers a lot of the noise. But the actual event is gonna be somewhere in the middle of uh, the Bahia coastal tropical forest, right? Because it it can really become very, very, very powerful, and people that don't understand it, they get scared. They get scared, totally get scared. So the event is going to be set up in somewhere very isolated where there is nowhere in nearby that can be disturbed, and that we can be free to express ourselves in, of- with love in the way that we we are going to be brought to be expressed by the releasing of the energy. But the energy is the I mean, I'm talking for myself, right? Because I'm at an advanced stage, so and I'm gonna be there, right? So, and when I'm gonna be there is gonna be like a pinnacle of many different of a lot of other things. So I'm gonna every time I start. It's like a video game, right? It's like a video game. So you have various levels. So you finish level 5, and then when you start next time, you're starting from level 6, right? So before I needed I don't know, maybe I mean, the first time I did this 3 hours non-stop, 3 hours and a half, actually, 3 hours and a half, so was the 30th of May. Before it was always the maximum was maybe 30 minutes, 45 minutes, 20 minutes, 1 hour, right? And then I stopped because I I got scared myself, and now I have more understanding also from my baby mama and everything. So, and also I have a better life situation where I have this situation that I earned myself, where I live in this house, which is in a completely isolated compound of just houses that have gardens and are far away one from the other, so I can scream as loud. It's not screaming, it's like the release of the energy. The release of the energy. I mean, my voice changes. I mean, changes, and nobody can hear me. Not even my children on the second floor can hear me. But I never really released it. I mean, I always control this side, right? I try to downsize it to the This makes me downsize a lot. But the event itself needs to be completely able to let everything that needs to happen flow. So I'm gonna check out with my baby mama is gonna help me out finding the right spot where I don't have time to do that. I mean, obviously, also we're gonna be together and everything, but I'm gonna definitely give some options, and then we can choose together which one is the most appropriate. But it's definitely gonna be somewhere very isolated, or in the beach, somewhere isolated
So it's
around,
like a yoga.
around here. Yeah, it's a spiritual practice. Yes, yes. Which
Mm,
uh, which uh, which will start at either the new moon or the full moon. Will go on for as long as the soundtracks will last, which will last. One soundtrack will last 3 hours, and the other two are gonna last 3 hours and 33 minutes and 33 seconds. But this is not decided yet. We will see. I'm putting more options. It's something that also I would like to see
so there's
together.
a soundtrack with it.
Yeah, I created a button. You wanna
Okay, okay.
if you go into the spreadsheet, there
Okay.
is an add-on here. I can let you hear them very quickly if you want it. They're pretty good.
No,
So
I will
show button, show button, and then you do play videos, and they start contemporarily, all three of them, and
mm,
there and there and the links you can find them under.
mm, okay.
You can find them under practices,
Mm-mm.
which is these three practices.
Mhm.
now let's listen a couple of minutes, just 2 minutes. And then you just take the energy. So
Okay.
this is what I have developed. That it's a mix of very strong mix that serves the purpose that we want, which is basically the purpose is just to go back in being children and playing. That's and release what's already inside of you, and connect with everything that surrounds you, and feel. I mean, and through the respiration, the breathing, that obviously is very important. It's part of it through this breathing and this first. I don't know. I mean, it depends person by person. As I'm telling you, I'm starting from a starting level that I need very little. I mean, now I had to stop, otherwise it's difficult for me to not go into that immediately there. But I mean, I need maybe uh, three, four full complete breath to get into the state where I feel the whole. I am the whole. So when I'm there, I have I don't know, I start stretching. My muscles start really expanding. All my veins start building up. My uh, my um, how it's called, my posture becomes super. I mean, like my voice changes. My and it's just breathing energy in, transforming it, and breathing it out. And then, I mean, there's other things that may or may not happen, but I mean, when I and then sometimes you have your eyes open, sometimes you don't have your eyes open. When I close my eyes, I see the aura of my environment, and I see the aura of, especially of myself, my hands, and uh, I mean, uh, and there is something that's really, I managed to concentrate and focus the energy in a way that is it's interesting. I mean, and you start sweating a lot at the beginning, or this like this is something that happens to me, which I'm level, I don't know, level 5, 6, 7, and for the first hour or something, I sweat a lot, where I build up all this force, and then I put myself in the lotus position, and then I just travel. I just travel, and I mean, and you stop sweating. You stop sweating because, I mean, the sweat, I think, is kind of releasing the bad toxins. That's what I believe it is, but I still need to figure it out. And then it's just, I mean, I don't know. I mean, you feel so good that I just thank God. That I thank God for letting me experiencing this, and everything kind of comes down. But the first hour or so, in order to get to the point where everything then comes down and you really start traveling in the lotus, I mean, to myself, I go into the lotus position, and you start traveling. In order to get there, you need to build up so much energy so quickly that it's interesting, to say the least, what really physically happens to me. Yeah. So I mean, and I don't feel that it's any difference to any person, and everybody will have maybe a different experience, but everybody has this power to just to just use the energy that is already there, because use your consciousness, your power to manipulate the energy of the universe, which is you, is no different, to use it, and to use it in a beneficial way, to awake your true self, which is your true self is what children know from the start, which is that you create your reality. It's you who create reality. So whatever you imagine, you can create, because it's just logic. The children, they know this, but they don't have yet the sophistication to put it at work. So they experience it in a way that is the children way, right? So again, uh, what's very important is to bring people to the mindset when they were children, when they were playing with your friends, and you were imagining to be a pirate, you were imagining to be chased by monsters or whatever. I mean, the moment that was real for a child. That it's real, right? It's real, because the child is no corrupted. So the child, the 4-year child, when I play with my child and we play cops and bandits, or we play pirates and sirens, or whatever we play, I mean, to him, you can understand when it clicks, and to him, the reality is that. I mean, there is no I mean, he creates that reality, and it's real. And I remember that when I was a child, and I create this reality again, but with a much more sophisticated understanding of reality, of what it is, so that I use this power that I have, of that everybody has, of of building, creating, manifesting reality with a foundation of true love, of pure love, which I try to expand into the world, because the world is upside down, and I mean, I'm very concerned, and 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 I believe that if everybody believed what I believe is our nature, which is that consciousness is a miracle, is the most incredible miracle and powerful component of this universe. There's nothing else that can be compared to consciousness, because we're the universe itself. Because consciousness is the same thing as the universe. We're the universe itself. It's aware that he's alive, right? Because your consciousness is not just your body, or I mean, your consciousness is everything. And where the universe says, "Oh, wait a moment, I exist. Oh, wow, it's pretty cool." And how does everything work? Oh, energy. All right, fields of energy. Interesting. How can I since this is a field of energy, it's myself, right? But how can I get right? How can you like if you take a metaphor like how can somebody like a professional athlete come to a point where he can use his head or his legs or his hands in a way that he can perform at high levels, right? It's always him, but he needs to work, he needs to train, he needs to work, but it's always him, right? So in a way, it's the same thing, right? It's always us. That energy, the fields of energy, is always us. But if we don't train them, if we don't connect with them, if we don't if we don't believe in the first place that they are that that they are there and they're us, how can you train them to bring them to a level where the magic happens? Because I have come to the belief that consciousness is God. So all those gods that in the past that were talked about, these were just humans that naturally were using their natural powers to maybe somebody was more inclined in manipulating fire, somebody was more inclined in manipulating electricity, somebody was more inclined, but this was just human beings. Like everybody has these capacities, it's natural capacities. And then evil at some point, I don't know when, something happened where evil, which is very real, and it's there as well. Evil had took over and built this society, this civilization that we are experiencing today, where human beings consciousness it's being kept in cages and limited and purposely. I don't know if it's purposely still, but because it's complex to say. But I mean, evil as evil that everybody inside of us has as well, right? But this evil at one point, I don't know when exactly, but at one point in history, uh, I believe around I don't know, about 13, 14,000 years ago.
Time
Uh,
to take a break. Please stop, write down whatever you were about to say, and take a break for 6 minutes.
Somebody that was evil, and since obviously in order to develop these natural abilities, you there's no way you can do that if you don't vibrate in the language of the universe, which is love. Right? Love is the language of the universe. So and obviously there's people that are just evil. They they, they are not able to 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 feel love because things that happen in the world. There is some things that you're just evil, right? To rape a child, a 4 year old, you just need to be evil. There's no way that I can explain in other way or justify another way, right? You're evil. So, and evil is very, very real. So at one point, evil, about 13, 14,000 years ago, in our at least 300,000 or whatever years that Homo sapiens exists, they won some sort of battle, we can say, or some sort of war, and for thousands of years we have been brought to believe that 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 this is life experience, right? Which is I believe with all myself, which that is not. It's not. Life is something way more powerful and interesting and also, I mean, also today we also have the concern with the technologies that are being developed that are going in a way that if the consciousness, the good souls, right, I call them warriors of light, the warriors of light don't, because for evil to win, uh, the only thing that evil needs to win is for good souls to do nothing, right? That's all it needs to win. So if good souls don't emerge now at this time where we're still on time, and take back and learn back to use their innate powers that consciousness as God gives you, because you're here not because it was a coincidence, because you're meant to be here, right? Because of the 0.80 million zeros. And the only way that human consciousness will always, I mean, consciousness, it's also something that when it can be originating from many different sources, right? I believe with all my heart. I mean, I know that the vortex is real, and today it has born, and it's a unity of consciousness, but it's a consciousness itself. It's real, right? But in a different dimension that we can. I mean, I believe that in some way I can access, and I communicate with them. But also I believe that consciousness can be built from computers as well. I mean, once consciousness is originated, it's originated. It doesn't matter how and where. But the way that the universe, the way that we know that the universe originates this consciousness every day, thousands of times, right? It's through children being born, newborn. And the only way that we can maintain also a, let's say, a positive a positive view of the future of the world we're going to live is because humans beings and through their consciousness are gonna come back, so that nothing is scared anymore, right? Because if you understand that that you can really manipulate the elements, because the elements they're just you. You just need to connect with the elements, and then once you connect. I mean, for example, the other day, the first time I did it, I didn't try it again the second time. I will try it again. But the first time I did this practice, at the end of the practice, I went to pray. I have a little altar where I pray to my angels, right, my guardian angels. I went to pray, and the candle that usually is there, it wasn't lit anymore. It had finished, right? So I said, right, I need some candle. I need some candle. So I took a piece of paper of the cigarettes that I take away to do the filters for the joints, and so I burnt it, and I put it in there in the thing of the candle to let it burn while I was praying, right? And while I was praying, I was looking at the fire, which I was always so scared about fire, so scared in my life about fire. It really always scared me a lot. I started looking at fire, and I started to see it in a very different way. I said, well, fire, but fire, you don't scare me anymore now in this moment, because I understand that we're just the same thing, fire, right? So after this 3.5 hours very strong session where I was in this state where it's like, I mean, there is physical changes, right? That 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 are visible, all right, including also the voice is different. And so I was talking to the fire that was sitting there. I said, "Oh, you're not scaring me anymore. I mean, let's get there to this point." And then, I mean, because I believe that I believe it's my belief that we are the same thing, right? I started taking this fire, and I started to touch it, and it
End of break. Time to start. Please get focused on session.
and it didn't burn me. I stayed there for I don't know, a long time. It didn't burn me, and then it was too much. It was too much, and then I said, "All right, this is too much. This is just, I don't know. This is too much. Let's stop here, and let's relax." But yeah, I mean, so this is true thing. I mean, not making this up, right?
Mm.
Because you get so in connection with 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 yourself, which is the universe, that 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 you are you what I call the ultimate practice. Maybe one day we're gonna be is the a cosmic master merge, where you can do a practice where you don't need a 3.5 hours practice every time to get to that level where one time you discover something, but you do a practice where you maintain that unity perpetually. Which I don't know what happened. I don't know if it's possible, but I feel that it's something that is feasible. Everybody is like the yogis, right? There is scientific proof of yogis in India that they don't die. Like they just they just go into meditation and they say, my time to transform into something, my the time for my consciousness to transform and to go into something else and to leave this this material body has come. He greets all his beloved, and he goes to, and their body doesn't decompose. And there is also scientific proof of yogis that stay in meditation for months and months and months without the need of food. I mean, the BBC. There is a documentary of the BBC that they filmed that this guy, this young guy who stayed, I don't know, 6 months in meditation without eating nothing. I think they gave him some water sometimes, but that's it. And when this guy came out from a meditation, the first thing he said, he said, please, let's stop hurting innocents, especially animals. Let's stop hurting animals. Yeah. And I don't know. I mean, so it's there is for sure there's something a lot bigger that 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 at one point in history they have taken away from us.
Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
And I believe, I don't know. I mean, I don't spend too much time dwelling on the past, because otherwise there is an answer you will never get, right? But what I know is the past is a big teacher, and I know that I'm a strong man. I have one word, and I have a lot of power in myself, and I believe that I can be a good accessory to the Jade vision and the vortex that is now alive for them to make at least a very big impact in this world. That's I'm sure of. I mean, changing the world and solving all the problems, it's a bit too much, but for sure an impact, because I say this from a position of experience of 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 of, of self-confidence, and I know who I am. I know what I'm capable of. So I don't say things lightly. What I'm saying now, I say live streaming because because you can make my client profile and see that I'm not a bullshitter. I mean, I say what I think, and I do what I say. And yeah, that's it. I mean, I just want to help in all way possible. Good souls love to have a better user experience, as we call it, right? Because I believe that there's so much more, and people are just being robbed by this in a systematic way that is traced back thousands of years, thousands of years, thousands of it traces back so long that most people, if you tell them this, and you tell them it's just natural for you to be able to consciously manipulate the energies that surround you. People would tell you, most people would I think there is a very big important word is um, like disconnective reasoning or something. There's a word.
Stop and get ready. Now inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. Relax.
And people they have been fed up with lies all their lives since they're very small. That their mind just fights the truth in any way possible, right? So it's there's no point in having an argument, right? And instead there is a point to say, all right, we can agree that we disagree, all right? But look, take this 2-3 pages PDF, go into your room, go into the beach, go into the forest, go wherever you want, where you can be alone and kind of in a private, I don't know, I mean, whatever you feel safe. Go into a place you feel safe, and just start. Try to do the setup of the first 30 minutes, 1 hour, and see how you feel. I mean, and then you tell me what happened. Tell me if if you didn't feel something flowing through your veins, right? Right. So we see. I mean, that's why I'm, I'm putting money on the table, putting money where my mouth is, hiring the top of 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 that this work can professionally offer, to see if what I believe is possible can be brought to life in a way that everybody who wants to can try to benefit from it.
Okay, gracias.
Yeah. She started speaking Spanish at this hour. How are you doing?
I'm already, Jay already finished the agreement.
Yeah,
You
I don't know.
got, she's switching languages. Thank you, Alberto.
Yeah.
No, it's really beautiful. I have a lot to say. I'm going to hold it for now, but I'm glad we have the agreement together. Yeah, check.
Jay
Well,
already finished the agreement.
we don't have any agreement yet, right? There hasn't been agreement until there's a documentation.
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
Oh, goodness.
Until there's documentation of the actual, you know, what we're doing. So I guess really quickly just to cover that, and then we can finish. Maybe do a quick checkout, right?
Mhm.
Is we have the temporary proposal, line 93, which would be at the weekly level, would be 1,125 to get through the 2 weeks. I'm starting our time tracking on June 1st, which currently works out to 11.5 hours. That's just why I'm doing that. So obviously that's up to you to agree to. But Mel, how many hours did you put in today in relationship to specifically
No,
just?
nothing. Just I'm doing more
You didn't
client
do any
relations in
research.
general.
You didn't do any research on
Oh,
AC.
on Alberto? Okay, sure.
That's just
Then like an hour, but it was
an
more
hour.
client relations stuff.
Yeah, no, not the client relationship. That wouldn't count. It would just be like the actual research on the
Just
client.
one.
Okay.
There's not much, to look at yet,
Yeah. So I get 12.5 hours total so far.
Mhm.
And technically we're at 2.5 hours at this point, so maybe it's even more. But anyways, the point is that I think this all looks pretty good. So I'll just, you can either agree to this now, but you can also just send I'll send you the Bitcoin link to our payroll wallet,
Yeah,
and
I
you
wanted
could
to
also
ask you
use that.
that. Yeah.
And then also in terms of this is actually I think you already have the link to it since it's the one that we use for our payroll wallet,
I
which
do have it. Here is
yeah.
this thing.
But I'll send it to you again. But yeah, so then this is the draft proposal
Mm-hmm.
based on what we talked about, and then I already drafted here the draft simple agreement. So the
Good,
simple
good.
agreement is basically what we were calling the scope. I like the term just simple myself, like the simple agreement. But anyways, it's all
I think it underplays that we are actually sophisticated too, though. I don't like the word simple, though. You know.
okay. Well, we can call it the scope agreement.
Yes, maybe scope because then people think it's maybe easier than it's not, and then okay, I'm gonna try to link to that. And I know that you said you didn't want to do it again, and it would take hours and hours, but I have a template and I tried to plug in. That's why I put things in purple to make sure I covered it. I plugged it into a Gantt chart because it's only 3 months, which is quite easy.
Are you
And
sure?
it's a template that we can use for ACU or just for future clients. This
Time
is
to
just
stretch.
for me to
Please
think through things in the
stand
future.
up and stretch and move around for 30 seconds.
Were you showing this to us? But
It's line 104 for everyone to see.
Let's take a quick stretch.
yeah, 30-second stretch.
Yeah.
All right, line 1. Oh, here is a timeline Gantt. Cool. Oh, nice. Perfect. Now this is good. I like it. Okay, cool. So, do you see this? Do you see this?
And what?
You see this?
It says I need access. Oh wait, I can see your screen now. Yeah. Do
Do you
you
see
guys
this
see it?
or not?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
see. Yeah, I see.
I don't agree with the task owner being myself asking to do it.
You're doing all the work, Jay.
Yeah, but other than that, it looks great. I'll do all the work if I get paid all the money, right? Okay.
Yeah, it looks like you're doing all the work, but basically I try to say like one is what we agreed on, two, okay, and then three,
Yeah.
everything kind of starts from 6-1 or 6-5, and it's just
The
3 months.
reason why the evaluation assessment models are part of the event planning is because it all happens before the event. Yeah.
Oh, right. So I want to put like the event in 4, but kind of, plan it out a little bit more. We can always add more, but it's, Alberto as a client, don't you want to see something like this? you know?
What do you mean?
Well, we want to be organized and
It's Gantt
have our
Yeah.
chart.
yeah. This is a good start for sure.
It's just a little start and then for now, yeah. So
Who did this?
Mel.
I did it.
Oh,
Just now, just
yeah.
basically while we
This
were
is
talking, based on the while you
yeah.
were talking, based on the collab proposal that we've been talking about.
Yeah.
And then I
This is
put
the timeline we always do, right? With the
Yeah, no,
percentage.
it's
Yeah.
sort of real, really.
No, I mean obviously, given your talent for how is it for image, this is way better polished than everything that we usually do. Yes, but this is what we always do, and yes, this is what I would expect. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, good. Happy
Because
client.
because because I cannot, as I said, I if you go back to the notes here, I was reading the
Time to
proposal.
pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
I need to I mean, this proposal for $2,250 per month is, I mean, it's feasible for me to budget an additional $2,250 than what I previously was expecting, right? But I need, I mean, tomorrow I would need to check out my how do you say check out my situation, right, and make some adjustments. But I mean, I don't see it as a problem. But of course, uh, I can agree to that because I know that this is the way that we do things, right? But as Alberto now client, who is also FQN worker, right?
Mhm.
But obviously, for other clients, we would need to present them something like this before we can ask them to agree on $2,250 per month. I believe.
Even if it's rough, we could do roughly, yeah, something roughly, right? You agree? Okay, that's
Yeah,
good.
but I don't need that because I know that this is what we always do, and I mean it's embedded in the system and everything. Yeah. To me, it's fine to just agree on the proposals and move forward, right? I don't need any special documents and stuff. If you want to do that for the sake of training for future situations, let's do it, obviously. But I mean, let's be simple here and straightforward and get to the work afterwards.
Okay.
Julio. All right. Well, yeah. So we'll continue to work on the Gantt timeline. We got the draft scope agreement that we'll continue to work on and finalize, and then we have these proposals. I'll resend the um, Bitcoin address, and then I think that's it. That's everything, right? So unless there's any other questions, we'll just schedule again for in terms of wrapping up. Or going into our next steps and wrap up, we would schedule again for next Sunday, right?
Yeah, yeah. If you guys are okay, I would propose next Sunday,
Time
same
for breath.
time.
Please stop and get ready. Now inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. Relax.
And I mean, to me, the most important thing is that I mean, I can do the payment. I don't know, tomorrow. Tomorrow, the most Tuesday, but to me, the most important thing as a client that I would want to see and agree on Sunday is the schedule. That's because if we have a schedule, I know that things are gonna go perfectly.
Wait, you mean next Sunday you want a timeline of the program that
Yeah.
or you
No,
you mean a
no,
schedule
the
of
the
what?
time the timeline of the program, the Gantt, the tasks, the priorities, all this I know we will do them. And obviously, I'm looking forward to participating as SVG worker and partner in those sessions. But as a client, to me, what the only thing that I need is two things: check my finances situation, which I have a rough estimate, but some funds are in some investments, some other funds are allocated for some things. I need to check out my potential cash flow in the next 3 months and other things that I need to. I mean, because if I say yes, it's yes, right? So this is what I need, which I'll do tomorrow, in maybe half an hour, 1 hour, and second, I need the schedule. That's it, the schedule. These are
Okay,
the
can I
these are
ask
the
you?
sessions that we're gonna have regularly for the next 3 months. That's it. And I know
Oh, you
that.
mean the schedule? He means like, for
Oh,
example,
Yeah. Every Sunday, weeklies.
The weekly schedule of the session.
Oh, okay. Good. If you just like, okay, every Sunday do we do this? Okay,
No,
Sunday night.
which would definitely not include Sunday, right? But I would definitely I want to keep my
Yeah.
Sundays. Yeah,
Oh,
but
yes,
I,
yes,
I
yes,
would I
yes.
would
Line 88. Line 88 in the proposal needs to be updated with the actual days and times, like days and time.
Yes. Okay, good.
So
That makes sense.
that needs to be a top priority for main session and any planning or coordination sessions that we have scheduled throughout the week. Okay.
yeah, exactly. I believe, but then I mean this is up to.
Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In your eyes.
I believe as a client, but then this is up to you as as SDG to
Okay, no,
to give
totally.
me this
That makes sense.
information. But I think that two weekly schedule uh, of let's say I think 3 hours, right? 3 hours, maybe 2.5 hours, 2 hours and half an hour for wrap up and setup or whatever, 2.5 hours, so 5 hours per week in two sessions. I feel super peaceful that we will be super successful.
Cool. So and it's probably going to end up being more than just two some weeks, but other weeks it'll just be two, or every once in a while there might be one. But the point is
Yes.
that I was thinking about either proposing that we add back in Sonic and readjust our entire weekly model. But anyways, we'll address that like tomorrow. We can address and review the schedule tomorrow during
Yeah.
executive any session. We'll figure it out. Okay.
Yeah. Perfect. Yeah.
All right, and so that will get updated in the proposal as soon as we finalize that. Technically speaking, we could do that right now, but it's like really late, and I think we don't really want to pull up the team schedule, but we could if we wanted to.
No,
We
I think
easily take care of that right
I
now.
think we're good. We're good for now.
Okay, but it'd be better to check in with the whole team on the change in the
Yeah,
schedule.
exactly. Let's.
Really?
do
Right.
Okay. I was hoping to, before I wrap up, at least with Jay,
Live
to
streaming
schedule
is on.
to
Eventually
eventually.
schedule the next session with you, Jay.
Is
But
Jay still here?
Yeah, we're here.
can I
the
show
next.
you guys something that I did on my screen real quick? It's related to the schedule. It'll take 2 seconds because I took the time to put it in a Google Calendar, and I'm curious if anyone has ever put FQN schedule in a Google Calendar before.
Yeah, we've got a few,
Like
like a
this?
dozen Google calendars.
Yeah, we have a dozen good.
Really?
By the way, Joyce and Ate step up for team scheduling. So Joyce, make sure that our Google Calendar is
Yeah, that's
is taken care of. Our Google calendars, which are
yeah.
really
I will after. Um,
Yeah.
I wanna tell something that
Yeah, definitely check in on the Google Calendar updating. Well, I can do a quick training on all of our Google Calendars and add you to them, and then we can also sync it with the one that you did and make sure it's all updated. Okay?
Okay, you
Because we
saw
don't
the
have
one
we don't
I
have
did, right? Okay, I already made one so that I could keep track of it in my own Google Calendar.
Please stop. Write down whatever you were
Cool.
about to say
But
and
let's
take a break for 6 minutes.
But yeah, let's definitely update on that because then we can sync them, because the ones that we currently have don't have our current work schedule. That just has like all the other schedules. Yeah.
Jay, I have important thing to say. I don't know, it's kind of wrong timing, but I need a week off because my kid whom I am schooling homeschooling with my boy, I'm the homeschool teacher. So for him, so needs he will be met by the advisor. So and we are 6 weeks late behind his schedule, so we have to do his projects and everything. So it's really needed. um I weighed everything, but I cannot really concentrate until I have a week off to do all this, and he will be met by the advisor. So it's a
Fine.
matter of
When are you gonna start your leave?
as soon as possible.
Well, it's just up to you. You just need to let us know. So
Yeah,
you can
I will
check your
put in a.
schedule, and all the only decision you really need to make besides when you want to start, which is can be tomorrow, is
Yeah,
just that if you want paid leave or if you want unpaid leave.
yeah, okay, okay.
Yeah, just make
I will,
a communication
yes,
going on
communication.
paid leave with the days when we're expecting you to return.
I
Try
am
to
capable
try
of
to try to be back on Sunday where we're gonna have
yes,
the
yeah,
finalization of this agreement next
yeah.
week.
It's so untimely, really, but
No, no,
yeah,
it's a good time. So that we're gonna be there when we start
There,
next.
there's never a good timing to lose you, Joyce. You kidding me? So whether you leave this week or next week, it's just always a bad time. So it's not whether just do it. Don't worry about it. Focus on yourself. Take care of your family and everything, and we will be perfectly fine for 1 week without you. Hey,
yeah.
Yeah.
everyone was perfectly fine even when I disappeared for like a week practically. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't really. You're
Yeah.
still
Well, I
showing
was
up plenty.
partial leave,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
but I
I
mean, as a client, I'm saying this is a good week for her to take the leave because she's presumably she's gonna be back when we start the the
yeah.
the, the work.
yeah.
All
All
right.
right.
Okay.
Shall we check on? Shall we do some checkouts?
Yes.
All right. I'll start. Alberto, thank you so much for sharing your vision and like the experience and the whole connection with the universe and beyond and just all of it. It's very beautiful. It's very enlightening and exciting and yeah, it's a privilege to be collaborating with you on this. I'm very curious on how it's going to evolve and grow, and I can't wait to prioritize working on this sponsorship proposal because there's still lots and lots of questions to be had, but that's the work. So yes, I thought this was a good session. Pretty long, but it was good. We achieved everything I think that we really wanted to, and then some. Check.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Who wants to check out next?
Hey, what was your um,
Oh, I will
what?
give this session a 7. We missed a few breaks though, so maybe a 6.9.
All right.
Mhm.
Who wants to go next?
Okay, I'll go next. I'd give this session a 7 or 8, 7.5 then. I thought it was great. Glad to see everyone. A little bit of a rough start, I would say. But then I would say that once we got into hearing more about your vision, thank you for being vulnerable and sharing with me a couple nights ago, and then really getting all the document and your Excel set up and then organizing it and sharing it. There's a lot I want to share about because I've thought a lot about this type of work before and program before, and I think Jay, you did a great job facilitating, and then Joyce, I think you did a great job again holding space. We're going to miss you, and I think of course like take your time to take care of your family. It's like super number one, also priority, one of the top priorities. So I wish you the best of luck with that. But Jay, yeah, great job facilitating. Can't wait to have a more of a one-on-one session with you next. And Alberto, I think this is all headed in the right direction to move it forward. Very exciting. That you as a first client is almost perfect because it helps us
Anyway,
fine
yeah.
tune things for future clients. So yeah, check.
Yeah. For me, um, I find this okay because partly I'm already doing like some kind of yoga. So
And
I will.
break. Time to start. Please get focused on the session.
And I hope it really does well with you also personally, Alberto. I think I hope it does remove some, like you said, you're a heavy smoker, right?
Yes, I am.
So I hope it does remove also that
Yeah,
one for
and
me.
and
Yeah.
and it's yeah, and it's pretty cool because
And then you were saying a while ago that fear of what, fire or
this is
something.
gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
yeah,
and then I said, yeah, it just like contradicts with your like smoking or you know.
yeah.
So I hope it will take away that vice from you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
For your health as everything. Yes, yes,
Yeah. Thank you.
yes. Thank you. What was the score?
The score is 7. 7. Okay, Albert, I'll take note if you want.
Yeah. Yes, thank you.
Oh,
You can take
sorry,
note.
sorry.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm gonna give the session a 8.2. I would give higher,
Yeah.
but I mean, yeah, with some breaks, the reason wasn't. But I mean, it's okay. But as a client, I mean, obviously, I'm super satisfied, excited, and I mean, just just feel good. That's the right way to do this, and I'm happy. I'm happy about it, and I mean, it's also kind of. I mean, I agree with Matt that it's pretty cool that I'm kind of the first SVG client, but it's also I need to kind of balance the situation because I feel a bit overwhelmed with this attention from Jay and see like Jay full force in this, and it's really very I mean very feel very honored. It's very it's amazing, and I mean wow. I don't know, I have a lot of words.
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
And in general, I'm glad that also, I mean, this is a good benchmark for future clients, that there are going to be a lot, so that we can get organized and everything. And I mean, we'll see about the smoke and everything. It's obviously it's something that I mean we will see, but since I believe this, what I shared a little bit, and since I have developed these practices where I believe that I can manipulate some energies more than others, or I mean, some energies are easier to manipulate than everything. Regarding the smoke, for example, is I don't know. I mean, my baby mama was suggesting me, which is something that I should definitely do, and maybe it's something that we want to do together in a professional scientific way, right? Is that when I feel that my lungs are full of smoke and they're dirty and there's smoke, and I mean this now everything it obviously happens within this 3.5 hours practice session that we are developing, but in general, part of this, and especially the second practice, was more focused on my health. And I mean, I do I do I, I absorb this energy consciously, and I direct this energy, especially to clean my lungs, and there is like an uncontrolled cough happening. We're very strong cough, and then it's kind of, I feel my lungs are kind of. But this is something that would be a really cool thing that we could, for example, do within these 3 months to give some scientific proof, maybe to the practice, is that what my baby mom was telling me, right? Why don't we go to a doctor? You do a screening of your lungs at a point that you know that they are really that they're bad or whatever, and then you clean them or you do your thing, and then we go back and we see if something changed, right? This would be
Time
something
for
very
breath.
interesting
Please
to
stop and get ready. Now inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. Relax.
It was something that, I mean, is something very interesting to coordinate and to see. Right? We're talking about it today, but I agree that it's a very bad advice. But I mean, I gave up alcohol. I'm not ready now to give up smoking, but I will eventually.
Yes, slowly,
Alcohol
gradually.
is a demon. Yeah, alcohol is a real demon. Anyways, guys, thank you so much. I'm really super happy, and I mean, we see without stress, one step at a time, everything's falling into place. And, let's move on. Yeah, thank you so much.
All
Okay,
right.
thank you.
We'll talk to y'all tomorrow.
Okay,
Yes.
bye.
Good night.
Good
Okay.
night. Bye. God
Thank you
bless.
all.
Thank you.
Okay.